frequent and repetitive triathlon spending can affect the new and experienced triathlete alike.
Some days, I just couldn't cope with the urge to buy new stuff,
causing the need to constantly add to one's collection and the feeling that just one more piece of equipment is all that stands between you and the podium.
I couldn't walk by a bike without reaching for my wallet. I started hoarding gels and socks. Nobody needs that many socks.
It can lead to listlessness and fatigue, isolation from friends and loved ones, and at its worst, bankruptcy and divorce. But with support, there's hope.
I am a survivor of frequent and repetitive triathlon spending. It just feels so good to say it. When I first got into triathlon, I felt like I might as well just direct deposit my paycheck to the local tri shop. There was so much stuff that I wanted, or that I thought I had to have. And although new toys are always exciting, after a while it wasn't a fun feeling shelling out another $300 for a watch. So the good news is, I'm about to tell you some ways to save on gear, and even a few tips to tide yourself over until you're in a good place financially to buy what you really want. Yes, there's some stuff that you absolutely need to buy up front, like you need to have a good helmet and a good pair of running shoes, and there are really some things that will make training more efficient. But you don't need to buy everything up front, and I'm going to share with you some free resources today that will help slow that hemorrhage in your bank account. Stick around to the end because I'm going to show you 3 free apps that helped me the most when I was first getting started, and I still find them super useful now. So first, let's talk about shopping. Now, of course, it's always wonderful to support your local bike and tri shops, so this is not a replacement for them or a reason to abandon them, but there are some places that I like to shop where I have found over the years I can save a lot of money on certain things. So the first place that I want to tell you about is called the Clymb. Now, that's Clymb, theclymb.com. This place has crazy prices on all kinds of outdoor gear and apparel and equipment. I've seen things go for as much as 80% off, and it's all gear from premium brands. Now, the downside is that there are a lot of times limited quantities on their stock, so clothing can occasionally be difficult, but if you can find something in your size, you'll be getting an excellent deal. This is one of my favorite places to go for cycling and triathlon kits and jerseys. They also have really neat curated sporty travel adventures you can book on there as well, so a great way to appease the family and still get your training in. Swim Outlet, shocker, is where I go to get swim gear, like goggles and suits and snorkels and stuff. They also have really great prices, although not as insane as the Clymb, but their selection is much larger and they have a much better inventory of constant products. Aside from anything swim related that you could ever need, they also have some great deals on other things like cycling gear, triathlon apparel, watches, gear bags, so it's not at all limited to just swim equipment. The best part to me about shopping at Swim Outlet is that when you're looking at clothing, they actually give you sizing information about the model that's wearing it, like their weight and what size they're wearing and their height. And it makes it much easier to determine what size you need versus just going off of that antiquated measurement chart, which never works well for me. Now, a quick PSA before I move on to the next one. When you go out and run, you absolutely need to be wearing shoes that are meant for running. That pair of cross trainers that you bought from DSW last year is not going to cut it anymore. Proper running shoes go on the list of things that you must buy as soon as possible. If you're running in shoes that don't fit correctly or are not meant for running, you can injure yourself and it will haunt you for a very long time. Trust me, you do not want that. So, go into your local running shop or tri shop if you've got one and have them fit you for your first pair of shoes, or until you find a pair that you like enough to use over and over. Buy them there. After you find a pair that you like, you can start hunting around for deals on your replacement pair at this next place I'm going to tell you about. Jackrabbit.com is my favorite place to shop for shoes. Fortunately, Jackrabbit does have physical stores where you can go in and get fit. They're just not called Jackrabbit. Long story, I don't need to bore you with it, but just make sure that you go on their location page and find one close to you. Why do I like them so much? Well, they have sales constantly. There's a new sale on a different brand of shoe literally every day. On top of that, they have a great reward program, which I like a lot. So you rack up 200 points and you get $20. Also, because they have a huge online inventory as well as physical locations, it makes it really easy to find what you want either place and get your points wherever you shop. And you can return in store. So I bought a new pair of shoes I had never tried before online without getting fit. Don't judge, the deal was too fantastic to pass up. So I took them into the store and they did a fit right there, determined that they were too large and swapped me out for another pair. And it worked out too because now they're my favorite shoes. Okay, so before we get started with freebies, head down to the comment section and tell me if you are suffering from frequent and repetitive triathlon spending and what's on the top of your wish list. Better yet, if you know another great place to shop that I haven't mentioned, please share that. We could all benefit from your knowledge. Now, I think that the most useful piece of gear that I have is my watch, even though I don't have it on right now. But I use it for every discipline. It keeps track of my pace, my distance, my time, at one point my altitude gain, and I use it for interval training when I'm out running. The first two apps on my list, when used together, can help you hold off on that watch purchase a little while longer so you can save up more money and buy the nice one. Take it from me, don't buy the cheap one now because you'll just end up buying the one you wanted later and you'll spend even more money. Strava is a great app that will take care of tracking your pace, distance, time, and it will show you a map of your route. It also saves your workouts so that you can refer to them later, and it syncs up with other apps like Garmin Connect and Zwift. If you love making new friends or you're super competitive, it's also a social media platform for athletes, so you can keep up with your buddies from a safe social distance and even compete to get on the top of one of their leaderboards. Now, although Interval Timer has the least original name ever, it's fantastic at one thing: timing intervals. It's incredibly easy to use, which I appreciate because sometimes I forget to set everything up before I go out on my run, so I'm trying to set things while I'm moving. And it will chime and vibrate when it's time to switch out what you're doing, so you can set it, stick it in your pocket or your running belt, and you're good to go. Now, even though I do have a watch that will do intervals, I will still use this app when I'm training inside on the bike or when I'm doing strength workouts that have time sets. It's just so much easier to set up than my watch. Another large expense, albeit not gear, is a gym membership. If your gym doesn't have a swimming pool that you need to be paying that membership for, or you're only going for the classes or the weights, you might be able to cancel your membership and use this free resource instead, if they let you.
I want to quit the gym.
Now, I've never been the type that can just go to the gym and lift weights without a plan. So, Hasfit, which stands for Heart and Soul Fitness, is an app that I use for strength training, and it's a collection of workouts from the YouTube fitness couple, Coach Kozak and Claudia. I love these two. They offer incredibly comprehensive workouts for free that only require dumbbells, and they even have some body weight workouts that don't require any equipment at all, so you can get a good strength training workout in wherever you are. So, hopefully, this will help cure your frequent and repetitive triathlon spending. If you liked this video and you found it helpful, please do me a huge favor and tap that like button and subscribe to keep up to date with all of my videos. I've got another one coming out next week. Stay safe, stay home, and save your money for important purchases, like a new bike. See ya!